Hi, this is Sandy. Today we're going to take our expressionism that we learned about last week, our last lesson, to a new level. We're going to express how we feel, not how the artists were copying feels, but just how we feel. And I'm going to use the current epidemic of crisis or virus, whatever you want to say. I'm going to use that. Okay, we'll get started. Okay, I'm ready to start. The first thing I did is I went to the internet and I just typed in a search of all the things that I was thinking about doing. And I was thinking about doing, the virus and just a whole bunch of viruses around. But that's been done. And then I thought, I'll make the virus into a shark. But that's been done. And then I thought, I will put a mask on the virus. That's been done. Then I thought, I'll put a mask on the world. That's been done. I didn't want to do anything that anybody else had done, because that would have sort of been copying. And maybe in the back of my mind, I saw somebody's art. So that's why I searched it. I don't want to copy somebody who used all of their brain and their artwork to do something, but yet I want it to be original. So I started thinking about how I feel. Remember that Expressionism is how it's portraying what we're doing here, and showing our feelings about it. So I'm going to use the soft pastels, and I'm going to use the pastel pencils. I'm going to need detail, and I'm going to need it from the pencils. So I'll put those aside for right now. And then I just got an idea, and I'll show you what I did. These are sticky notes. I just started making sticky notes and then kind of putting them together. So we could, you can see how I worked. That's a deep sea diver. I don't know if you could tell that or not. These are surfers. This is a surfing wave. This is me telling myself, I think this should be light in there because I think there's a way out of our tunnel. And maybe we should start dark and get lighter and lighter and lighter. So that's my idea, and we'll see if it works. So I'm going to put my little notes up here, and I'm going to get started. I've got my pencil, I've got my eraser. I'm going to put the lines down here so that I know where I'm going with this, but might not follow them, and I might erase them later on. Okay, my deep sea diver, I feel like I'm in a bubble. So I'm going to put myself right here, but only half of myself. I'm just in my head. Literally, I'm in my head. We're showing my emotions. So I'm not going to put, I don't know, somebody else in here. This is supposed to be me. And here I am, right there. Deep sea divers, I've made my little sketch there. They usually have something on the side and the top where you could get into the cap. So I put that on there. And our view, in my opinion, is kind of hampered because we can't see very much. We don't know if we're seeing the true view of something or somebody's idea of what we should be seeing. So I'm going to kind of cover my mask up because I don't want it to be seen. Then I'm going to have this dark on the edges, and right about here, it's going to be light. Okay, now all along here is a path, and it goes up and around like this, almost like there's a wave. And when it gets over here, it crashes. So we might see a surfer right here riding this wave. And I'm going to just do silhouettes of these surfers. But there he is. Now, you know what I made? I made my stick man. I know basically how a surfer stands on his surfboard. Right like that. Okay, that works. I got my surfer. Then, we've all got different ideas what we're doing here and how we're fighting this virus. And so some guys might come along here, and once again, I got my stick man, and he's coming down here, and he's going to be holding his surfboard right like that. He holds it with this hand, and he reaches way down here and holds it with this hand. And still he walks. Okay, that's one guy. All of these are silhouettes. I don't want to look like people. Then there's those people out here who they're going to wear those masks. And they're going to be all tightened up, but they're going to go on with their life anyway. And they're going to be carrying their surfboard. And they're walking along. They're not going to be able to surf very well, but they're surfing, and that's what matters. That's my tennis court right here. So now I'm going to erase the lines in between that. These are still going to be in silhouette, but maybe not quite as much as the actual surfer was, because they're closer. And he's walking with his friend. And the friend here is going to have his surfboard stuck right there, because that's kind of neat with the surfboard stuck. And he's going to have his hand to hold it there. And his eyes are going to be up here, because he's talking to his friend with his mask on. Okay, that looks pretty good. We might have another surfer up here in silhouette, just walking along, and he's got his surfboard over his shoulder like this. So his shoulder has to come down there, and his hand has to come up there. And this one might come down here. Okay, we'll let him walk along. Then we might have a surfer riding the wave. And he came down the wrong side, so he's kind of falling. So I'm just doing a silhouette of the wave, okay? Or he could be falling off. That's a good one. We're going to make him tumble like this. And he's going to be falling off that board any minute now. Okay. Over here, let's see. We've got something affecting us over here. I could just make lots of viruses. And down here, where they're done surfing, I feel like we need the masks. And I'm going to, that's what my thing is about. We need this protection. So over here at the end is going to be a graveyard of surfboards. Now, when Munch did his painting of the screen, he really didn't tell anybody what he was doing. He just did it. So we all have to put our interpretation of what he was doing. So that's where I am here, but I'm telling you why I'm doing this. You know, the Expressionism comes during a time of spiritual crisis or social change. Our social change has to change here. So that's what I've got. People aren't changing. People are changing. And I'm stuck in the middle. So let's get started. And I want it to go dark to light. They've always depicted the virus as red. So I'm going to put my red virus in first. I'm using the chalk. Not putting it in real deep because I've got to put the little notations that there's a virus out there. And I don't know exactly how this is going to go on. So I am going to experiment how I get this in there. I'm getting my reds out. Maybe I did that one that way, but this one, I'm going to put the virus out here. I can tell right now that these little dots are going to have to be different colors here and there. Okay, the white doesn't do anything. This is going to take a long time if I have to keep doing this. Then the underneath of this one is going to be gray. So I'm going to get my gray out. And still try and go around my other one. I like that blue-gray better. Okay, this virus here is just getting ready to start. Can I get, oh, I can get. Now, because this is art, we don't have to do it the way it looks like. we can say, okay, we've got two viruses that sort of look like what they say the virus germ looks like. And now we're going to make our virus germs look the way we want them to. Maybe I do want it to look like they're stacked on top of each other, all around each other. So I'm going to have some disappearing behind each other. Maybe I will put this color on it. Now, a lot of this is going to depend of what this looks like. It's going to depend on how much time I take. I can tell that doing this is going to take a lot of time. So in the video, I might speed up certain times. And I'll work on my viruses and speed it up, and you'll know that's what I'm putting in there. But let's go ahead while we're waiting for me to do that. And I'm going to put in my mask. Okay, remember I said I didn't want to get that face mask. I wanted to make it look like you couldn't see out of it. So I'm going to go in with the blue. And I might even put the edges a little red. Because I'm seeing red right now. And then on top of it, I might put just a flat white. How am I going to show, though, that I'm behind that mask? I think I'm going to take a colored pencil and kind of just make an outline of my eyes. I know they're there. And a mouth that is open saying, I don't like this. Just the indication of the nose. I'm going to put this color back on top of that. There we go. We look very, very closed in. Okay. Now, get rid of all my, before I start this, I'm going to speed it up and do these without talking. So just have fun and watch. Okay, now we have everything put in here, and I want to make my darks go to my light right in the center, because that's my way out of this. So I'm going to start with some light in the center. My chalk is kind of dirty, but I like that. So now I know where I'm going. I just have to get there. I'm going to start out at the edges, and I'm going to go dark. I'm going to come in here, and I want to get this really good right where I've got an edge. Okay, now I'm going to go up in value, which means my colors are going to get lighter. Not going to blend them until the very end. You know, if this doesn't come out right, I will have learned what I don't like about it. And the next time I do it, I will change the things that I didn't like happening. So far, I'm okay with it. Okay, I'm going to go up another color, another value. I'm going to put it over some of this other stuff, because I want it to look like it has depth. We do that by doing lights against darks and darks against lights. But over here, on this inner side, where I'm doing that, I want that to be like the sea foam. So I don't want to go in there too much. Maybe a little bit more on this side, a little bit more down here. Now I'm going to go up another value, getting pretty light. While I'm doing this, I can't lay my hand in anything I've done. Since this is chalk, you know what's going to happen if my hand gets in there? It's going to get all chalky. And it's going to smear everything. So I'm really careful. Okay, this is the sea foam. I think I'm going to step back a value right here. I don't want to lose all of the white here. I'm going to put some purple in there. And now I'm going to put some gray in there. Any place where I've got a white spot, I can put gray in. And I might go back to some of that light blue. Oh, I forgot to put his surfboard up there. Let's get some light blue up there. Now, if the sun was out, we would see a little bit, might see a little bit of yellow up there. Gotta be careful with yellow and blue though, because you know, I'm gonna make this green and I don't want it to be green. But I'm going to put just a hint of sunlight up here, right there. Put some light on it. Come in with some light blue again. All right, now I've got my finger, I've got my tissue. I don't want to smooth all this away. But I do want some of this dark down here. So I'm rubbing it on this. I'm going to make it look like I'm getting buried in dark. Get that dark off my finger. There, he looks like he's surfing now. I want it to go right over these boards like that water is on those boards. When you're doing your expressionism, I want you to remember that it's you're expressing, not me. And maybe blues aren't the colors that you need when you're sad. Maybe you need a yellow when you're sad. This blue is usually my sad color. We'll just kind of rub that around them like they're getting kind of slushed in there too. See how I did that? I'm going to get rid of some of this on my finger. Now I'm going to go to the light. Now I'm going to touch up my lines. I'm going to use my pencils for that. Be real careful, I'm not going to set my hand in here. Maybe we'll have a surfboard right here. Okay, that's my expressionism. Yours can be this. You can do what I did. That's fine with me. You might feel the same way. Mine, it's just what it is. But I want you to look at this because this isn't real. I've expressed myself in colors, blues because they make me sad, reds because they make me angry, and blacks because we really aren't considered here as individuals. But we're going to cut on the next lesson, we're going to talk about Surrealism, which is sort of what this touches too. Okay, we'll see you next lesson.